Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Games for All podcast. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me, as always, is my good friend
James Craigie. What's up, you bitches?
Right, there's no need for that. Okay, so let's just get cracking, because I mean, we've been busy this week.
Yeah.
Very busy. We've been playing a lot.
Yeah.
You may have noticed when you downloaded this, there's actually a video podcast as well. Our second episode of Games for All Extra has gone up.
It's been all go this week.
It has been, yeah. We've been very, very busy. In the video, we look at Kane Lynch 2, Medal of Honor, the multiplayer beta for that, and Crackdown 2, the actual finished retail version of that.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. We're going to discuss these things now, obviously, because it's what we've been playing. Yeah. But we're going to discuss slightly different aspects of them so that we don't repeat ourselves too much.
Okay. I'll let you lead on that because I forget what we've talked about already. Okay,
well, we got a hands-on exclusive look at the Kane Lynch 2 demo.
Yeah.
Very cool. We don't get much in the way of exclusives on this show, but that's we got into that. So I'm pretty sure that it is UK exclusive. I haven't really double-checked on that, but that's what I was told. We had to have a code to download it, so it's some exclusivity there. It's... If anyone who's played the first game will realise that it was not quite that good.
No.
I'm trying to be careful about what I say here. It wasn't a great game. Critics absolutely hated it, and it just fell very short of the promises I think that were made by the developers. Anyway, we've got Kane Lynch 2. What do you reckon?
Well,
because I'll interrupt you straight away here.
Fine. I'll just sit.
No, I just want to explain that the demo it's more multiplayer focused, but it does have one level of the single player campaign in it,
which is what I played.
Which is what we talk about in the video. So we're going to focus a little bit on multiplayer on the audio podcast, but just give your initial thoughts on it.
I have to say, I was quite surprised. I was expecting to when you said, "Oh yeah, give us a go," just so you can talk about it on the podcast. I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go." But no, I actually quite enjoyed.
Trust me, you probably would have been more reluctant had you played the first game.
Probably.
Saying.
But
I kind of thought the first game was all right, despite its flaws. There were big flaws, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
But this demo features heavily like multiplayer. There's 3 different multiplayer modes, and you can play those 3 multiplayer modes in the demo.
That's awesome.
So they've tailored it a bit more towards that side of things rather than showing off the single player.
There's a lot of that going on at the moment, a lot of multiplayer demos.
Yeah.
Rather than...
Well, I think in a way it's kind of smart on their behalf because with the first game, the only thing it really had going for it was the multiplayer. It was probably the only innovative thing about the game originally. It had this mode called Fragile Alliance, which was basically you did a bank job with like your crew, online crew, right? You did your bank job. And then at any point you can turn on your teammates and kill them off, right? So it's to steal their money. And whoever gets away at the end with the most money wins. But bearing in mind, if you kill somebody, they come back as a SWAT team member and can get their revenge. So
see that's
quite cool.
That sounds awesome.
And it was all right. It worked okay in the first game. It was well,
I think
obviously
you were saying
bugs from
about
the single player carryover because
like
the broken
controls
exactly.
And everything.
I think we both agreed that this demo played it was controllable. It's fine.
The control. I had no problems with.
I think they sorted that out. Cover system works. So, but I've played the online. There's 3 modes. There's Fragile Alliance is back.
Excellent.
Cops and Robbers, which is basically team deathmatch essentially with bags of money thrown in the middle. And Undercover Cop, which is a mode where you basically one of you is picked to be the undercover cop, and you infiltrate the gang and you steal the money, but you have to, it's sort of it's a mix of both modes really. But
it all sounds awesome.
It is pretty good, I think. So I'm sure probably the multiplayer side of this game is probably going to be a bit more fleshed out and a bit more appealing to most people than the single player.
Yeah. But
what we played the single player was all right. I mean, I'm hoping that there's better levels in the game, the final game, because I do want to pick this up and play it because I've played the first one and I kind of enjoyed this demo, so I kind of do want to go and play it. But
I think a lot of people will be fairly prejudiced against it. Yeah, especially if they bought the first game and hated it.
Yeah, I think in a way they've done a lot style wise with the game and fixed the controls. But I think that's
very
probably,
interesting style.
I think that's probably all they've done with it, though. Really.
Yeah. But,
yeah, but we discuss a lot of that on the video podcast. So go watch that after you've heard this.
Yeah. Anyway, I was surprised by it. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, and I actually found myself getting
very
quite
different to quite different to the first game at least.
In fact, if anything, I think I probably enjoyed it more than you did.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Single player bit. So,
Awesome beans. Well, speaking of downloading stuff via codes, we had okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, Medal of Honor multiplayer beta is currently going on at the moment, right? Now it's just come over to Europe because obviously we're in the UK. It started on Monday, but there's a big delay. It's still a delay, even in the US, I think, with the Xbox 360 version of the multiplayer beta for Medal of Honor. So there's me, July 5th, whenever it was, right? Thinking, gonna get these codes. And me and you are going to play online, bit of this beta, have a laugh, get to talk about it on the show. Didn't really work out that way. The Xbox 360 version is delayed. I don't have a PS3, so what we did, was we took one of the codes, and used it to get a PS3 code.
James comes to the rescue again.
Oh, well, whatever. I'm just saying. So we played on PS3. As you'll see in the video,
You struggled with it.
A little.
Because I know for a fact that you're not a big fan of the PlayStation controller.
No. Don't get me wrong, I do have my dig occasionally at the PS3 and stuff, but my only real beef with it is the controller, actually. And I do say in the video, shooters don't really work on the PS3, for me, personally, solely because of that controller.
Yeah. I mean, obviously people who have it as their main system, they're probably more used to it.
Yeah, true. But for like shooters and stuff, well, for most games in general, my console of choice is 360. That's just me, right?
Yeah.
So I will be getting my code. Well, I've got my code. I just need them to start the beta for the 360, and then I'm in. But we did get to play some, and we got to talk about it on the video podcast.
Yeah, I played a bit for the video. I've played a bit since then as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
How'd you get on?
I got owned. I'm not good at that sort of thing.
It's good though. I thought I actually enjoyed it when I thought, because I'd be like, because not being funny. I mean, I play a bit of Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 2 and all that sort of thing, but it's pretty much essentially the same thing when you boil it down to its bare bones, right? It is the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. I just kind of enjoyed it. I think it's
there is
the authenticity of it.
Yeah,
actually.
there's a certain feel to it.
Yeah,
that does that, and it looks nice.
A
few little sort of collision issues and clipping and all that, but no, the overall effects, like lighting effects and it's like the terrain textures and everything. It's a nice looking game.
It is pretty impressive, really. I mean, way more impressive than I thought it was going to be. So, thumbs up for that. Obviously, I'm going to give my further thoughts on that when I get to play it on 360, because we want to compare both versions and see how they stack up against each other. Like you were saying to me, anyway, I think it's probably going to be much the same, but obviously I'm going to find it easy to play. But so we played that. That was kind of fun. It's a little glitchy, but it's still. It comes out October. I think I say in the video it comes out November. It comes out October, I think.
October.
So they're getting in there just before the new Call of Duty.
Yeah. They're hoping.
This is smart on their behalf, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I think people probably.
They'll be jonesing for the new Call of Duty by then, so they'll probably pick it up as a placeholder, if nothing else.
Yeah, maybe. But for people who can afford both, I still think Call of Duty will probably outsell Medal of Honor. To be fair.
There's hardly any doubt of it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an established franchise. People know what they're going to be getting, whereas people won't know too much about this.
Yeah. So we'll be talking more about that beta as time goes on, obviously. It's going on for a lot longer now because it's been extended because of the whole 360 thing. Apparently there's a big delay. I don't know what it is. Personally, I think the delay is the fact that EA is kissing the PlayStation 3's arse at the moment. That's the only delay I'm seeing. I can't really say that, but I just did.
We're journalists. Be impartial, Daniel.
Screw it. Anyway, we've talked about Crackdown 2 quite a bit on the show, actually. Ever since the demo was released on Xbox Live. We've played the first one. We're big fans of this game, Crackdown 2. It's finally here. We were lucky enough to get our hands on it a few days earlier.
Yeah.
Breaking street dates, you got to love it. So, we would talk about that in the video. I've played
I think you've played more of it.
Yeah,
I've
played quite a bit. I've got quite a bit of time.
By
on
next
week's
show, I will have gotten quite a lot of time.
We talk about basic improvements over the first one and things like that in the video, but I got to play some multiplayer today on it.
Ooh.
And I'm actually really liking the multiplayer quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only got into like a couple of little matches, a bit of deathmatch and things like that. But overall pretty cool. It is Crackdown just with multiplayer thrown in. It's it is what you like with.
Excellent.
Well,
I'll have to try a bit of that with you this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds awesome. So, and we want to play through in co-op and things like that.
Yeah,
so we're obviously going to talk a bit more about that at some point. Briskly moving on. A few weeks ago, a game came out we mentioned on the show called Sniper Ghost Warrior.
Yeah.
Got to play it. Well, some of it. I've played a decent chunk of it actually over the last few days, and
I watched you play a little bit of it.
Yeah, it was funny. This game is basically Call of Duty, but it is obviously has heavy emphasis on the sniping side of things.
Yeah.
And if anything, I actually think some of the sniping stuff's done slightly better in this game than in Call of Duty. But that's probably that, and the fact that the game looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's probably the only praises I'm going to give it.
Yeah, because it didn't look like it controlled well from what I saw.
The controls aren't bad, because they're pretty much the Call of Duty controls, and it doesn't move quite as smoothly as that, but you know where you stand with these controls. It's just, the graphics are nice, but they are sometimes very inconsistent, which is a bit off-putting, because certain things are like really low res, and it's noticeable. But yeah, the game itself is pretty average.
Yeah.
There's some pretty flawed level design, some kind of glitchiness where enemies will try and are actually shooting you and hitting you, but they're not actually facing you. They're not actually shooting at you, they were shooting in a different direction.
Curving bullets.
Yeah, strangeness. Right? And also, enemies being able to see you and alert other enemies when they're not even looking at you, or they're looking in the opposite direction. Things like that, little things. I have patched this game, but excuse me. There's some serious little issues there, but overall, I'm going to say it's not terrible. The sniping stuff's fun.
Yeah.
So the main sort of idea of the game works quite well. There's a level in there. There's actually a section of a level in there which is totally ripped off from Modern Warfare 2, where you breach an oil rig, and it's pretty much, it's kind of funny really. So it is borrowing a lot of stuff from other games, but if you find, I wouldn't recommend getting it now. Give it a month or two when it's cheaper, and if you find yourself, if you find yourself thinking, I've run out of first-person shooters to play, it can be a problem to some people, and you want something that's, going to be cheap, affordable, have easy achievements, I'd probably recommend picking it up. But I will say this:
or rent it. I hear people still do that.
Yeah, that happens. There is also out on PC, and I think probably it plays more. It's probably suited more for PC players.
Yeah.
So if you've got a PC that's capable of running this game, maybe check it out. I don't know if there's a demo available, but maybe check it out and see what you think. I think it's okay. It's pretty average, but And so you've been playing some of that.
Yeah.
Speak.
Well, I'm a fan of the retro.
Yeah.
Monkey Island 2 has just been re-released, a special edition.
Right.
A little while ago, they re-released The Secret of Monkey Island, the first one, but with new HD graphics and everything, with the audio from the cast of the later Monkey Island games reprising their roles and filling in on there. Loved it. Loved the Monkey Island series. Second one, better than the first special edition.
Right.
They've tweaked the controls a bit. They've got this new free roam mode where you control it more like the latter games. I avoid that. I didn't like it very much at all, but traditional point and click. It looks great. The original had iMuse, which I'm not sure if it's when you transition between areas, the music would change seamlessly.
Yeah.
And with MIDIs, that was fine, but they've got it working now like full orchestral.
Excellent.
Real things. And
that's pretty cool.
It works pretty well.
Cool.
Plus, there's lots of extras and stuff. They've got the original 3 creators of it in there, and they've got an in-game commentary which happens. as you play.
A lot of games doing that now. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it. I love sort of seeing their insights and their humour, and It is full of humour. It's a funny game. It gets you thinking. I just love the old point-and-click games.
Excellent.
Strongly recommend it.
Cool. So I imagine between playing Crackdown 2 this week or weekend or whatever, you'll be probably swapping between that and this.
Yeah. I'll be trying to ace this because I got the full gamer score for the first one, so I'll be trying to get the same one for this one.
Fair enough. Okay, well that pretty much concludes what we've been playing this week. It's been quite a chock-a-block week of games and demos and betas and stuff. Yeah, well that's why we did the video really, so we could talk a bit more about stuff. But so please make sure you download that and give that a view. We're going to take a tiny little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some news.
Me.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about this week's news. Now, I don't know if you know, a new version of the PS3 Slim has been announced.
It's white, isn't it?
It is white, yes. It's white. Comes in two models, 160 gig model and a 320 gig model. Trying to up the ante with the whole hard drive space thing. Now, here's my thing. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the fascination when, like, if you gave somebody a white console, right? So here's the new PS4, it's white. Given enough time, they would turn around and say, I'd like that in black, please.
Yeah.
And once they got it in black, they want it in white again. I mean, I don't know.
Why don't they just release it in... I mean, I think Microsoft are doing it now.
It's not actually Microsoft. That's another company. I was going to get to that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's pretty much... made colour cases for the new...
Case mods.
Yeah, case mods for the new 360 Slim. You can get them a bunch of different... you can buy the cases and fit it yourself or buy one directly from them. Anyway...
You see, well, personally, I have to say, I prefer the black. It goes with my TV, it goes with my sound system. Everything is in black. I've even got the black Wii and everything.
Yeah.
But...
I can't go to the doctors about that, but yeah. Go on. So
you spoiled it now.
So anyway, do we need this? Do we need it? A hard drive space, fair enough. I mean, they are trying to just... Because obviously now the new 360's got a 250 gig hard drive. You can buy a 250 gig hard drive for the old one. They're just trying to do one better by saying 320 now, aren't they?
Yeah.
It is just a big kind of pissing competition, hasn't it?
Yeah. And it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you have to think...
Do you need that space? Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Like, how much porn do you need to put on it?
Anyway, the PS3 Slim, white, it looks nice.
It does, but I can't help thinking that the main thing going for the PS3 was the fact that it was black to begin with.
So, I mean, sure, people buy it, just be different.
Yeah. But
I think ultimately they'll probably just want to paint it black.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a reference to a Rolling Stones song, but anyway.
You never know. Maybe the non-Xbox 360 fanboys who have the white Xbox and have a Wii or whatever, maybe they'll pick it up to get the full set of white consoles. Like
possible.
I've done the black.
Knows, yeah. It's
nice to have the options.
Yeah,
there.
that's true. So, in Nintendo news, basically Nintendo said that they'd like, ideally, to have them, your Mii that's on your Wii.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's like pretty much your avatar, right? For that to be migratable to the next generation of console.
Ah.
So in other words, you'll be able to carry that character over. Not that I don't think there's really a lot tied to your character, but you'll be able to carry it over into the next system.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of alright. I mean, I can imagine them maybe like Xbox doing that as well.
Yeah.
Because
you have certain sort of like settings for like how your character looks, and you obviously spend a lot of time doing that, so to then not have to like go all over again and remake it.
Make it exactly the same. You can just transfer it. I think that's kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
And hopefully when the new Xbox, whatever that may be, comes out, you'll be able to migrate your avatar to that as well.
It sort of ties it to you personally.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just having this thing there, it becomes a little bit of you that it gets put in there, and to sort of have it carry on. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's... I mean, obviously, it's just them saying, this is what we'd like to do.
Yeah.
there's no kind of, they've not gone into much more detail than that, really.
No.
But I think it's an interesting idea,
Yeah.
because people do spend a lot of time on these things, these little, especially with I keep mentioning Xbox because this is really about Nintendo, but like with those avatars, you really can spend a lot of time making yours and dressing it the way and spending money on the costumes and stuff.
I mean, you get like extra costumes for Mii's as well. Yeah. So yeah.
If you spend that money, you're not going to spend it all over again. Is basically the thing.
I have my Mass Effect outfits for my avatar. If I have to lose them when I get the new Xbox or whatever, then I will not be happy.
Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Switching back to Xbox quickly. It's become extremely profitable.
Yeah.
They've released the figures, and actually Microsoft have made $1.2 billion through Xbox Live subscriptions and downloadable content. Pretty cool.
I'm not really surprised, really. I mean, it is... I have to say, I'm not a fanboy either. I try and remain impartial.
You try.
I try.
Yeah.
I try, but... Obviously, I've always felt between like the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, you get what you pay for. And for me, Xbox Live has always been more sort of user-friendly. It's always had it there. It's always... Maybe it means I'm suggestible, but it's always getting me to buy stuff.
Well, I mean, I have owned both those consoles and used both those services. And, PlayStation Network is great that it's free. But then, at some point, you've got to kind of wonder, is that their downfall in a way? Because the money that you pay for Xbox Live goes towards maintaining their servers and things like that. It means Microsoft don't have to dip into their pocket too much. They
spend a lot of time with like adding content and episodes for it, not just DLC and all that, but their own content as well.
Yeah,
like, little things.
And I know Sony's got a great wealth of stuff. You got to wonder, is their service so much? Because I mean, I've tried playing games online on PS3, and this was some time ago, obviously, when I owned one, but I never felt it was the same experience. I found it much harder to like play with other people online, and just a bit of a kind of, just a really not a very great experience overall.
No.
And with Xbox Live, you just kind of know it's quite intuitive, and
yeah.
You just kind of feel it feels like it's worth it in some ways.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't buy a lot of stuff. I buy rarely anything actually off of Xbox Live, but
I mean, I play online fairly seldomly, but I'm always signed into Live, and I always like see what's going on, see what's new, and all that. It's like my daily ritual is going on there and doing that. And now, as a service, I think good on them.
Yeah, it's made a lot of money, so hopefully it'll continue to make money. I'm sure they will, but I hope they make a lot of improvements. Well, actually, there is one thing that actually in other news that we need to talk about, Xbox related, and that is that, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but next week there's a new app that you'll be able to download to your 360 that makes browsing and downloading arcade games more easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Destination Arcade.
Yeah, because they brought the whole the retro arcade thing in, and I was going to look into it, but I never really did. But no, I did see this.
Well, basically, it's just another app. You'll be able to download, it's like your Facebook or your Twitter app and things like that. You'll be able to download that, launch it into a new window, and basically be able to browse the arcade content and download through that. And just apparently makes things a little bit easier. It's a different interface and things like that. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is
they are
cool.
working towards kind of building on what they've already got interface-wise and making things a little easier to get, like, because sometimes it can be a bit annoying trying to find something and you're kind of not really sure how to go about it. But so that'll be interesting. I mean, you don't have to use this as well. It's another good thing. You don't have to download it and use it.
It's good that they give you the options available,
anyway.
And that's all comes from like the money you pay for. I guess it ties in nicely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I mean, hopefully, our money doesn't just go on like coke and strippers and stuff.
No.
So anyway, speaking of coke, no, I'm just joking.
If we hurry, we can still get an ice cream.
Yeah. So this is just a rumour.
Ooh.
But Nintendo and Sony have expressed a very, very keen interest in 3G mobile networking. Like if you've got a 3G dongle or a phone that's 3G, it's high speed internet over mobile, sort of, right? I say high speed-ish. So basically speaking, they've Nintendo and Sony have been talking about their next generation of handheld gaming devices, implementing 3G for basically wireless internet on the go all the time. The only thing with this is that you are pretty much going to have to pay a small fee to use it, I imagine. Because it's not free on phones, it's not free. It depends, obviously you've got to pay something for it, but...
I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. I mean, it would have to be pretty spectacular handheld and have some pretty good games to sort of warrant me forking out more money for that.
Well, we don't know whether this is going to be... They've not said anything about the 3DS having 3G.
I can't see
I don't see it being... I think it's like way next gen, like a new console, new handheld gaming machine altogether.
That would cause all sorts of problems with 3D GS and...
yeah, that's what you're saying. So yeah, that's... It's interesting that they're looking into it. I think really, by the time this is implemented, I think the technology will be quite old and there'll be something new.
Yeah.
I think there's even talk of like 4G becoming, an actual thing at some point. So maybe by the time this gets around to being a thing, actually implementing these little handhelds, it may be too late anyway.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see. I mean, for me, if you ask me, all that will do is just make the handheld consoles more like your home consoles, in that you'll be able to like browse and do stuff and get access to DLC and everything better from your handheld rather than anything else. But
what if you were, say, on a really long bus journey, and you had like a really cool new Sony handheld console or Nintendo handheld console, and you fired up a game and like, I'm going to play online with other people on the bus, against them or with them.
I would seriously think, do I have enough time to get into a serious match? Will I have to stop to get off the bus?
It depends on the game, I suppose, but I'm just saying.
And the length of the bus journey.
It's possible. Well, I'd say it's a long bus journey, or train journey, or flight. Let's say it's a flight. You're flying.
Well, surely
really
electronic
far.
Devices have to be switched off.
Oh, right. I'm just saying, like, would this appeal to you?
Long term in the future, yeah, I think everything's going to have something like that. But as of right now, no. But like you said, it's in the future. Then I think
it's not. I don't think it's a big deal. But there you go.
So the next logical step really is to have everything connected, so you can use it all the time wherever you are.
I think that's what they're trying to do. So yeah.
Steps towards that would be great. I mean, I'd love to see like a handheld where you could do that, where you could download games on the go and look at stuff and do all that. I think porn.
This week keeps coming back to this porn.
Always comes back to the porn.
So let's leave the 3G porn handheld thing alone, right? A game you completed recently, Red Dead Redemption. Yeah. Rockstar have announced 4 brand new expansions for Red Dead Redemption. One's coming out in August, and then they're coming out every so often after that. So we'll probably have enough content for the next year. This is going to worry you because I've just finished it.
I've just put it away. I try and get out, and they drag me back in.
So basically, there's new missions. There'll be new achievements that go along with it. There's a whole bunch of extras thrown in there. But the one interesting thing that I'll pick out to talk about is there will be a game mode that adds zombies. Yeah,
the zombies are everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but
it seems to be like the in thing at the moment.
Yeah, they've been the in thing for a little while, but I kind of like the idea, mixing the West with the zombie type thing.
Yeah, I mean, how will they implement it? Because I can't imagine playing through the single player campaign. I can't imagine zombies in it.
No, I think it's I think it is a separate mode, possibly a multiplayer tie-in, perhaps. Because I mean, for anyone who's played Call of Duty World at War, will know when they finish the game, you unlock the Nazi zombie mode.
Yeah. I think I also detailed that there'll be like extra animals. So I'm thinking possibly zombie animals. So,
yeah, possibly. Who knows? Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, but you see, I'm loving this because some of the packs they're like.
These aren't free, by the way.
No. But
before I mention.
Sucker that I am, I'll probably end up getting all of them.
Quite possibly, yeah.
But yeah, they add to the multiplayer. There's some that add to the single player as well. and stuff, and it's good. I mean, it's slightly different to what they did with GTA 4, wherein they added like 2 really big single player ones, and this time they're doing like smaller.
Yes, tiny little packs that add good stuff, but like
like a new weapon. But no, I'll be doing that. I mean, one thing I'm looking forward to most is like versions of like Liar's Dice and Poker and everything in the multiplayer. So, and there's this one they did. I can't remember what it's called. Mentioned in the 4th pack. I'll have to look it up at some point, but it's very kind of like subtle in what it could be, but I have a feeling it might be something adding to it so that when you're trying to get from one place to another, random people can't shoot you in the face and kill you. It gets really annoying on the multiplayer because when I'm trying to do stuff, it's like I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or last week even, because I've been focusing more on the single player campaign. When I've been playing multiplayer, I've not leveled up as much, and there are people who spend all their time in the multiplayer and they're like really, really high level. So if I go on multiplayer and try and do anything, I just get shot to pieces. Yeah. So if there's a way added into that to like stop that from happening, I'll probably get more into the multiplayer.
Well, I'll get excited about this personally when I've actually played through the game. I think.
Which I
this
still
is when I'll probably end up getting these. I don't know. I'm not. So the zombie thing, I can probably get behind. I'll probably enjoy that, but I'll probably want to play the game through first before buying any additional content. Personally, that's just my thing.
That's the way you roll.
It is.
But no, I still think you should do it, mate. You should still get through it because to me, it surpasses GTA. I mean, it has all the similarities, but it's better than.
Right. Well, that's what a lot of people have been saying, but then I've heard some people saying it's kind of a bit mediocre and things like that. So.
They probably just don't like cowboys.
Possibly. Well, but you love cowboys, right?
I love cowboys. I love cowboys and zombies. Now the two are mixing together.
Awesome. Right then. So that's probably the best place to leave it, if any.
Yeah.
As far as the news side of things go. We are going to take another small little break and come back with our list of what's coming out this week as far as games releases go.
Hey.
See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back to Games4all podcast. We are having a really slow week as far as new releases are concerned.
Well, it's that sort of slow time of year.
We are, yeah. That's the thing. I kind of like this time of year though because it gives me a chance to catch up on some stuff.
Yeah.
So that is the good thing about.
As far as our new release section is concerned,
it sucks balls because basically speaking, the only real big title game coming out this week is Crackdown 2. And we've spoken so much about Crackdown 2 already on the show. We've both got it.
So
I've been enjoying it so far, as of you.
Yeah.
And we'll probably continue to enjoy it. And we'll probably mention it on next week's show because it's probably the majority of what we'll be playing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So that's out. But I will say this, the following week, we get the brand new Xbox. I say we're not actually getting it, but like... The UK, I mean, gets the brand new Xbox in all its shiny slimness. So basically speaking, that's a really short section, but we'll end the show more or less there. Next week, we'll be talking... Hopefully, I'll be talking a bit about Medal of Honor multiplayer beta on the 360. That's what I'm looking forward to. We'll probably be boring you again with more Crackdown 2, but, it's just come out. We're going to play the hell out of it and probably play some co-op. Give our first impressions on... Well, not our first impressions, but give our thoughts on that side of things. And, who knows? I may get through that sniper game. Maybe. I might not. Who knows? Anyway, if you want to check out our website, it's www.games4allpodcast.com, using the number 4. We also have an email address, which would be great if you could please contact us on that. We're just
listening, so you might as well talk to us.
Just some interaction would be kind of cool. That's podcast@games4allpodcast.com.
Yeah,
we're also on Facebook and there's several other sites where you can hear the podcast and things like that. All that information can be got through our website. You can also listen to episodes on our archive of episodes, and you can stream the SD version of the video podcast on there. The HD one doesn't stream for some reason. but it is downloadable through iTunes.
Not
exclusively, though. There will be other podcatching software that will download that as well. And we want to thank you very much for listening, and have yourself a good week. And hopefully we'll be back next week with a lot more stuff to talk about. And perhaps we will not try to talk too much about Crackdown 2 because it's dominated at least the last 3 episodes.
Okay.
All right then.
Well, we'll do our best.
We'll try. So have a great week, and we'll see you soon.